In case you weren't aware, Max Martin is a super producer in the world of pop music. Almost everything this guy touches turns to gold. He can work with an absolute variety of singers and artists in the industry and somehow make it sound really good. And secondly, hit the top 10 on every chart basically ever and get a lot of number ones out of it as well. This guy is really different gravy. He's worked with the likes of Justin Timberlake, Justin Bieber, Childish Gambino, Lana Del Rey, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, Kelly Clarkson, Pink, The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And I thought to celebrate his excellent approach, his excellent contribution to pop music over the years, it would be fun to rank his best produced songs in a top 10 list. So if you're clicking this video thinking, who the hell is this guy? You might want to stick around because you are certainly going to recognize a lot of these songs. You might not love all of them, but I think you're going to at least like some because his range and his versatility is off the charts. There's got to be at least something you are more than likely going to enjoy. So yeah, that's basically gonna be the video. If you enjoy it, please share it around, give the video a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and if you're feeling super generous as well, you can check out my Patreon and you can, maybe even check out the membership page, support me over on there. That would be wonderful. See more guys supporting over on that, because this is not a full-time thing for me. It takes hours of my weekend doing these videos, so it'd be massively appreciated if you could support me on those things. And the very least, you can at least share the video, like it, and that kind of thing as well. Just a quick caveat before I start the video. I mentioned The Weeknd already, and Dawn FM, I'm not going to include on this list anywhere at all. And that is not because I don't like it. In fact, it's the total opposite. If I was picking one album that Max Martin's been a part of that could be the best thing he's ever been a part of, it might be Dawn FM. But if you look at the production credits for that album, Max Martin is on it, but so are like 20 other guys. Like, it's crazy. Each track has so many producer contributions. The Weeknd himself is all over that album. He did a lot of production himself on that thing. 106 Point Never, Swedish House Mafia, a bunch of other names that aren't as recognizable, but there's just so many names. It's what made the album so great, really, ultimately. But yeah, I just thought for a Max Martin top 10, I wanted to pick out songs that he has produced. Obviously, he is on Dawn FM, but the primary producer is more him and maybe one other person, which most of these songs will be. So that is just why I excluded tracks from the album. So if you were expecting to see it on this list, it unfortunately won't be anywhere. But you can understand my reasoning here. And honestly, if I did include it, I think half of this top 10 could just be songs from that album. And that would be a pretty boring list, I think, too. So if you make your own list and you include tracks from Dawn FM, feel free, go ahead, do as you please. But that's just one of the reasons why, for me personally, I thought it would be better to exclude it and focus on more of the tracks that he has been like the main guy for. So yeah, you get it. You're here for it. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let's start this list. At number 10, we are starting with Britney Spears, and we have a track that you might not be expecting to see on this list when you think of some of the big ones that we've seen Britney put through with Max on production. But I Want to Go, and the entire Femme Fatale album is super underrated. Genuinely could be one of her best albums, and maybe my Max bias is coming through here, but that is very much because of his production that takes it to that level. You've got these really, really like high energy, propulsive, just banger, banger, banger club songs that have aged so well. Like, if you look at the time this album came out and you looked at what was in the charts at the time, there was a lot of music that sounded like this, okay? But has that music from then, that club boom era, aged well? I think that the answer is no. I don't think a lot of that music has aged well. Sure, it was good for its time, and sure, if you're just kind of mindlessly dancing, you probably wouldn't be thinking too heavily about some of those tracks from those times. But the beauty in what Max Martin can do is that his production just sounds like it feels like it's new, even if it came from a time that we don't really see this style of stuff coming out anymore. So yeah, I want to go hard-hitting banger, just fist-pumping stuff, and maybe an underrated gem for the career of his and Britney Spears overall too. Has to be on my list. Speaking of underrated songs though, I've got to throw Show Me Love by Robin in that category too. While this song isn't the most obscure song ever, it doesn't feel like nowadays many people would ever bring it up or really even talk about it. And there are quite a loud minority of people that love Robin too. Like, they are very loud about how much they love her music. And even those people never bring this song up, but I'm here to show it love right now. This track is really, really good. The chorus is incredibly infectious. Show me love. So bloody good. Perhaps the reason why this isn't as popular is because there's also a song called Show Me Love by somebody also called Robin from the 90s, although she's called Robin S. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. I really don't know, but there needs to be more love for this track. The more kind of like down-tempo, trip-hoppy-ish production, which started to become quite a popular thing in the 90s. We saw like the artists such as like Madonna do it on Ray of Light a few years later. Like, that kind of feels very of its time, but I think it's got a really nice trickly sound. It sounds really nice even like 30 years later now, which is insane to say. Max Martin's been in the game that long. And yeah, I think even for me, I probably was underrating this song for quite a long time, but I'm very much not doing that now. Great track. Tell me why ain't nothing but a I mean, come on, man. You got to include some cheese a little bit. You got to do it. A little bit of cheese never harmed anyone. But this song, man, is just so good. It just feels like timeless and probably like the greatest boy band song of all time, genuinely. Like, it really could be up there for that. And I've never really considered myself like an NSYNC fan, Backstreet Boys fan, One Direction, any of those guys. Like, I don't really listen to them, but I Want It That Way just has something to it. It has a special something that just makes it feel so enjoyable. Singing this song on karaoke, I've got some great memories singing this song karaoke, man. Yeah, I know it's probably a bit of a curveball, and compared to some of the other tracks that I could have included in this top 10, you might be thinking why, but I think you gotta understand it, man. So good. I think one of the greatest ways to show somebody the special technique, the special source, the special power that Max Martin has with his production style, well, no pun intended there, is to play this song and then play the Taylor's version, which I think had more of a Jack Antonoff thing going on, more so than Max Martin. And you will understand how there is such a stark and clear difference between how Max Martin does his thing compared to anybody else. This track is pristine, it's clean, it's got a really like nice vibe to it that makes it feel like it's separate to a lot of other Taylor Swift songs completely. It's super catchy. The synth pop production just pops off really well. Everything's just spaced out right. And then you click play on the Taylor's version, and it just sounds a bit muddy. It just sounds a bit off. Like, the tempo isn't quite right. It's really strange. I can't put my finger on it, but if I were Max Martin and I was that good at producing songs, I would probably understand why this works and that one doesn't. That's basically the best way to show somebody the difference between how Max Martin does his thing and other people do their thing. Because, yeah, this track is so bloody good. I think it's been kind of like waxed lyrical for years now as being one of Taylor's best songs, so I'm not really adding to the conversation here. I even included it in my top 10 Taylor Swift songs too. I think it's that good. Yeah, it's just a really fantastic pop song that is super timeless for me. I can feel my face when I'm with you. And this, for me, is a good example of how Max Martin can change the trajectory of a artist's career completely. You know, you've got an artist that had a very distinct sound prior and was doing that really well. Obviously, the R&B stuff was super influential for the early 2010s. Everybody wanted to make their own House of Balloons and nobody could really do it. But then you've got Max Martin coming through and shifting the sound of The Weeknd's style completely on Beauty Behind the Madness. You still had some of the R&B stuff there, obviously, but then you started to get this like disco dance pop stuff coming through, this classic 80s sound coming through, and it just completely skyrocketed The Weeknd to a new place that he would have probably never made it to if it weren't for Max Martin. And goddamn, this song is the grooviest, friggin' infectious dance pop tune of the 2010s. Like, it is so damn catchy, it's so damn fun, and yeah, there's just so many little details in the production, the way it kind of like blasts through at the beginning and it's super dramatic, and then it kind of slips into that little funky little disco tune. It's great, it's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, you've just kind of got this case of Max Martin turning somebody into something completely new and fresh compared to what they were before. Where would The Weeknd be without this track or Max Martin, honestly? Not to say that he wouldn't have done anything good or been successful, or he still would have been super popular, but he would never have been that big without this, I don't think. At number 5, we've got Teenage Dream by Katy Perry, and I think a lot of people who love Katy Perry may pick another Katy Perry song that Max Martin produced as their pick, and I wouldn't be mad at that. You've got California Girls, you've got Last Friday Night, you've got a few other tracks from Teenage Dream, which was a massive success for her. But for me personally, that title track is just one of the sweetest, dreamiest, pillowy pop songs ever made, like in the history of pop music. There's just something so comforting about this track. And as somebody that is admittedly really not a fan of Katy Perry, even the whole album I've never been huge on, actually, and everything after this album I think has just kind of gone even further downhill, as we all are aware of. But this track just stands on its own 2 feet for me. It just has that special something. It's so warming, it's so inviting, the whole thing. Her vocals fit this style of production perfectly as well. And yeah, it's one of those things where you just kind of go, oh, of course he's produced it. That's why this track just has that extra, like, special something that maybe her other tracks don't quite have. And that's just my personal opinion. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, The Weeknd does make it onto this list once again. Save Your Tears. I mean, like I was saying before, with Can't Feel My Face being the starting point of what kind of started to change and shift in The Weeknd's sound, this was kind of like the, oh, okay, it can get this good. It can get this good. Right, that's how we're doing it, are we? Yeah, Save Your Tears is just an absolute massive synth pop jam. That sample usage is great as well. It's pulled from a pretty obscure track, but it's pulled from an era that makes sense for how this song sounds. It feels like a really dark, moody 80s synth pop jam. The Weeknd's just perfectly placed over this, you know? There's always been Michael Jackson comparisons, and you kind of see it with his voice, but his voice is just kind of made for this style of production. And I just think Max and Abel have found a way to just like join together and become like a super force. I mean, if you're making Michael Jackson comparisons, you could even say like he's his Quincy Jones at this point. Like, just that combination, even right up until his newest album, Hurry Up Tomorrow, he's on some of the best tracks on that one too, like Open Hearts. Like, this combination is just like completely foolproof now. Like, it can't be broken. It's a total package. And yeah, tracks like this highlight that. Do Not Worry, there was of course always going to be some Ariana Grande on this list, and you would be happy to see that she has made it this high up on the list as well. At number 3, in fact, we're at number 3 now with Into You. God damn, this is just like the explosive dance pop sound that I think Max Martin, when he's at his absolute A game, when he's at his like absolute best, this is like really what he can come through with. Because yeah, this right here is just so good. And Ariana's voice, it makes so much sense that he worked with Ariana for so many years, because there's so many tracks that he's done with her, actually. A lot more than I'd realized. In fact, I didn't realize it was that many. I knew there was a lot of crossover, but there's even more than I'd even realized. And yeah, you can feel the, like, it makes sense as to why he'd want to work with Ariana Grande. Her voice and how she can sing just fits his style production so well. And this is just seriously a bit of a sleeper hit for like a 2010s great pop tune. Like, because when you see the best of the 2010s when it comes to pop get kind of listed in listicles and people talking about it, people mention Ariana as somebody that they like, but they don't mention this song. And I feel like we're missing something here. Like, we're forgetting this one, because if you play this, it just hits so damn hard. It's so good. And again, I'm pleased in the Ariana stands here for a second time, because she has made it to number 2 as well. This one might be a little bit surprising for some people, because maybe they would prefer Into You to be higher. But No Tears Left to Cry has always been a major, major highlight in her career for me. I think just the vocal runs and how she can hold on to those notes over this production, it just fits really well. It just works so well. It just kind of takes you to a different place. That chorus just hits in a really unique way that feels like she's kind of like singing from a mountain. And she's always had a great voice, but I just think this utilization of her vocals with Max's production, yeah, I think is the best that they ever really came up with. I think it's done spectacularly well. And yeah, for me, an absolute gem of a song, and could possibly be the best thing Ariana's ever made. That might be for another video, though. We shall see. And before we get to number 1, before we reveal the big winner of this list, I always like to hit you guys with 5 honorable mentions, and I'll be doing the same here for Max Martin. And there's some familiar faces. Most of these are artists that have already made it onto this list. You can clearly see I may have a bit of a soft spot for some of these names, and that's why they're getting mentioned so much. But they make sense when you think about the songs that I'm including here. It's not really so much a bias as it is just these great songs, I would say. But yeah, you might have expected more Britney on the top 10. But for me personally, I've only ended up with 1 song on the top 10. But I have to mention Baby One More Time, which has really like striking and bold production. I think, again, just highlighting really that a lot of the stuff he's touched has got this timeless quality to it. This Britney song doesn't sound like it came from the 90s. Like, it's crazy to think that that's how old this track is, really. Or it might be just touching the 2000s. It's very much like 25 years old at least now. Insane stuff. A very good song, had to be mentioned here. Going to mention The Weeknd again. Hardest to Love, a bit more of a subtle track, not really highlighting some of the more bold and brash and explosive sounds that Max can come through in this production, but still it offers something a little bit more unique. It's a bit more of a somber track, fitting the kind of moodiness that The Weeknd often touches. And yeah, it's just as good as some of the more exciting and explosive tracks that he's made as well, which is pretty cool. Also want to mention Ariana again with Greedy. Again, this production just kind of feels very like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's very like lavish and luxurious, and it's expensive, kind of like some of the tracks that she's made throughout the years as well. Kind of feels very classic in how it's put together. And yeah, it's done really well. Also, Taylor Swift coming up one more time with Blank Space. Always had a bit of a soft spot for Blank Space. I feel like it's done really well. Kind of sounds like a Leona Lewis song, but it's still a really good track. And yeah, Taylor's being a bit more cheeky with this track, with the lyrics and talking about how people perceive her, but it's still done pretty well, and I think it's aged well too. And the 5th and final pick isn't an artist that's already been mentioned. This is a new name coming through here. But Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. What a rager. What an absolute screamer of a track. Come on, man. I could not include this. I'm not really a Kelly Clarkson fan at all, but I have to be honest, this is a great track. But number one, I've done this before on this channel. Guys, it's Blinding Lights. It's Blinding Lights. This not only to me is the greatest thing Max Martin's ever produced, but it's also like one of the greatest pop songs like ever. And I don't care about it being like recency bias saying that. Yes, it's 5 years old. Yes, it's really recent, and throwing it in that kind of caliber, throwing it in that category of tracks is brave. It's risky. Is it a bit too, soon to be saying it? Nah. Blinding Lights is timeless. Blinding Lights is capturing something that so many pop songs I feel have tried, but they just haven't quite been able to master. But then, of course, Max Martin comes through with that classic sort of, Flock of Seagulls sound combination coming through from the 80s, making its own thing. And it sounds very familiar, but it also sounds really new and fresh and has this really futuristic feel to it as well. The whole song is just an absolute gem. The Weeknd kind of really demonstrated here that he is a megastar, I think, and can make the pop songs of any era and, just put himself in that conversation. Like before that, you may be looking at 2010s artists thinking, nah, The Weeknd's a caliber below. He's like a tier below. But I think this like boosted him and like, oh my God, this guy can do it. This guy can really do it. And yeah, just an absolute incredible song. Everyone's said all the good things about it already. I can't really say any more and add more to the conversation. It's just that good. Thank you for watching this video. That has been my top 10 Max Martin songs. If you click the video thinking, who the hell is Max Martin? Well, now hopefully you know a little bit more. He is a pretty popular name in the music industry, so it wouldn't be massively surprising if you are very familiar with him. But I guess because I haven't done a producer list like this before, so it might have just surprised you seeing this pop up on your kind of your feed, your notifications, whatever. So yeah, hopefully you've stuck around, stayed for the entire list, and enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next in the comments. I can do more producer lists like this, and I think I will in the future as well. I obviously done plenty of artist lists. I've talked about Bjork, I've done Kendrick Lamar, I've done the Beatles, I've done all kinds of top 10s on this channel. Stick around to watch those. And yeah, that's going to be it from me. Do make sure you're supporting the channel. Maybe consider checking out Patreon, membership page, all those things. But at the very least, you can subscribe and like the video. Do have a good day, and goodbye.